I'm Kathryn Cook, Executive Director, and we're going to talk about Hostess coaching. So Hostess coaching, I believe, is one of the singular most important things that you can do for your business. It's sometimes an area where people aren't really sure what to do or how much is too much. So I wanted to kind of address that with you because it is so important, and I just can't tell you how much your calendar will change when you switch to using an effective hostess coaching method for you. So first and foremost, hostess coaching is, again, one of those things where sometimes people feel like they're going to bug their hostess if they contact them too much. Now, let me tell you this. I'm in the corporate lead rotation, which means that I get party leads from all across the country from people looking to host parties. More than once, I have gotten leads from people who have a party scheduled, but they don't know what their consultant's name is. They don't know what her phone number is. They basically don't know how to get in touch with her, so they don't know if that party is still happening. You do not want to be the consultant that the hostess doesn't know your name or your phone number. Trust me. And again, this is, for most of us, our job or our career or our side money or whatever it is that you do passion parties. And it's not bugging a hostess to stay in touch with her if she chose to have a party with you. Like, you want to make sure that you're staying in good contact with her. So at least once a week, and sometimes, depending on how close in the party might be, it might be more than once a week. So make sure that you're staying in touch with her, that she has your phone number, like that you're Facebook friends or whatever. You do not want to be the one that she doesn't know who it is. Trust me, you don't want to be that person. So first and foremost, get that out of your head that you're bugging your hostess if you stay in touch with her. That's your job as a consultant. So that's really super important. And also, hostess coaching is one of those things that it actually starts from the minute the party is booked. Now, most of your parties are probably going to be booked at the actual parties. So hostess coaching starts right there in the consultation room. So I want to go over that a little bit. So first and foremost, you should always be using an open date sheet for your parties, because you don't want to open up your calendar and let people see it. Because number one, whether it's full, absolutely jam-packed, or whether it's empty, it's not the client's business, number one, what's on your calendar. And it's actually just, I promise, not a really effective way to get them to book on the date that you want them to book on. Especially if your calendar isn't full, they're going to flip through and find any date that they want. If it's a Friday, maybe 2 months from now. That's cool, because clearly your calendar's empty, right? There's no rush for them to book with you. So you want to use an open date sheet to ensure that you're working when you want to work and not working when you don't. So there are all kinds of examples of open date sheets out there. This is one. There is also one on Corporate's website in the Document Center under the New Consultant section. There's an open date sheet you can use there. I think it actually has like little calendars attached and that kind of thing. But the basic things that you want on an open date sheet is the day and time, or the date that you're looking to book. And then you want to leave room for them to sign up with their name, their phone number, what time, or the address they're going to have the party at, whatever information you think is important. But again, notice on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 open dates on this sheet. Don't present an open date sheet that is empty like this. If you're going to have 8 or 9 or 10 openings on the sheet, that's fine. But you want to fill in 2 or 3 of them, either with existing parties or with made-up parties. Because again, if you present a sheet that looks like this to somebody, it doesn't really look like there's any hurry to book with you. Because again, you're open all the time. Why do they need to book right now? So, my open date sheet that I use actually has 9 slots available, and I always fill in 2 or 3 party dates. And I can't tell you the number of times, like, my mom and my best friend and my sister have all had fake parties for me to fill up my open date sheet. But again, you want to create that sense of urgency with them right there in the consultation room. Also, if you have bonus dates, meaning dates that are generally within the next 2 weeks or so, you want to designate those somehow, like either highlight them or put little stickers on them, whatever it is that you need to do. But you want to make sure you draw their attention to that. And you can offer whatever bonus goodie you'd like to get them booked on that bonus date. Some people offer an extra discount, some people offer a little freebie. But again, the most important thing is that you're drawing their attention to it because you want to get those booked before you book anything else down here. Now, on your open date sheet, it's really important, unless your calendar looks exactly how you want it to look for the next 6 weeks, do not put dates on this open date sheet that are further out than about 6 weeks. Because again, you don't want somebody to book 2 months from now, especially if you don't have any parties in the next 2 weeks. You want them to book with you now. Okay, so again, put a little thought into the dates that you're leaving on your open date sheet. And a couple tips for you about using that open date sheet in the consultation room. Don't hand it to your client and then like stare her down. Because number one, that will make her nervous. But, kind of either total up her order or play with your inventory bag or whatever. Just like don't sit there and stare at her, because I think that generally makes them feel a little bit maybe more pressured or more nervous. So I always hand them the open date sheet and I busy myself doing something else. And like I said, generally I'm totaling their order at that point or messing with paperwork or something like that. So don't stare her down. And again, don't feel like you have to present a pristine open date sheet every single time. I've actually found over the years that the more stuff that's on my open date sheet, the quicker it is to get filled. So that's what I mean by like having pre-existing parties written in there, or having stuff written in the margins, or like one of my friends actually had a coffee stain on her open date sheet for a while, and like that thing filled up like that. It was kind of crazy. So again, make sure that you're using that open date sheet. That is so super important. And obviously you also want to give your hostess the hostess packet right there in the consultation room. So you should carry those with you in your bag. I always generally have, between 3 and 6 in my bag. But again, that saves you postage, mailing it down the line, and that way you can go over with it right there. So let's talk real quick about hostess packets. So I actually use these handy little folders. They have these in the back office. They're actually like 2 or 3 designs ago, but they're super cheap and I love them. So it makes it super easy to keep my hostess packets, but you can also just as easily use like manila envelopes. But for now, these are still available to order on PassionNet, but otherwise on manila envelopes works perfectly. So in here, actually, I have a business card. Business cards are important. Again, you want to make sure they know how to get in touch with you. I have an outside order form. And you can create your own. I'm sure there are several examples on the various Facebook groups. But this basically tells my clients how to total their orders, or I always encourage them to text me if they need help totaling orders, or better yet, they can order directly on your website. Just make sure you let your hostess know at that moment when the party will close. Me, for instance, my parties always close at the party. I don't keep my parties open after the party date, but just make sure that you let your hostess know at that moment. Hey, we're going to close the night of, or I generally close 2 days later, just so she has a heads up. And you can encourage her to get those outside orders, ideally before the party. So outside order form, business card, you can have it all brochure. Okay, these again are super duper cheap and they have great basic information about the business. So super handy for having that in there, because you never know. That person may look this over and all of a sudden decide they want to do their own party. They want to start making some money. So this is super handy. Absolutely best thing that you can give to your hostesses in their hostess packets. And then again, this is also what I give to my potential consultants in the consultation room. They're inexpensive and they've got most of the basic information. And then of course, just direct them to your website for more info. But that goes in my hostess packets as well. And then last but not least, this is actually the corporate hostess letter. So these are pre-printed from corporate. You can purchase them directly on PassionNet. I love these. For years, I actually printed my own stuff. But with these, there's really no need. This talks kind of about party policies, about no children, no babies in attendance. On the inside, it has a place for them to make their guest list, where they can put the names and the phone numbers of the names and emails, whatever, and whether they're attending or not. So this is super helpful. Also, it helps them decide who to invite. It talks about 40 friends in 4 minutes. So that's handy as a trigger as well. And here it also has the hostess benefits as well. So they can see exactly what they're getting for free or discounted based on the sales at the party and the events. And of course, they have room for their wish list down here. And then of course, most importantly, again, put your information right down here at the bottom. You can't really see it, but this is stamped with my information down here at the bottom. So my name and number and email are all over in that hostess packet. So again, hostess packet, you want to make sure you have your policies, some way to help them make their invitations, payment methods, what payment methods do you accept, and of course the hostess rewards, and then also information about the business itself is great. So whether you're using the pre-done corporate hostess letters or you're making your own, just make sure that you kind of cover all of those bases, although I strongly encourage you to use the ones from corporate. They're gorgeous, they're pre-printed, they've done all the work for you, and they're super inexpensive. So again, that is part 1 of hostess coaching.